Hey, it's Checkmate 101. The development team has provided a flurry of updates over the weekend to Die in the Dungeon Origins. I want to talk about the new content and some of the different hotfixes that have come out and what you can expect in the newest version. So there is new content added to the game in this latest update for unlockable relics. This gives the game a little more meta progression, kind of like the prologue version. The relics are Heroic Backpack, Shape-Shifting Fin, Miner Hat, Monkey Paw, and Pachinko Balls. These are all indie game references. Hats off if you recognize those. Each of these new relics is unlocked by floor progression. So starting with Heroic Backpack, this will give you a max hand +1 and a draw +1. You have to reach floor 10 to unlock that. Next is the Pachinko Balls, which will give you 3 random slots on the board to get +1 each turn. You have to reach floor 20 to unlock that. The Shape-Shifting Fin is at floor 30. The effect of that relic is each time you heal when at max HP, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Then the Miner Hat gives the effect start every battle with 2 block. You reach floor 40 to unlock that one. And then at floor 50, you unlock Monkey Paw. When killed, revive with 25% HP. This relic will be discarded after use. I'm really excited to try out all these new relics and see what they are good for, how strong they are. There's been a lot of rebalancing changes as well, which I think will really change up the meta for speedrunning and also the difficulty. There are some new quality of life changes. In the menu, they switched the order of new run and continue on the title screen to make it more difficult to accidentally restart, and added a pop-up if you try to start a new run while the continue option is available. That way you don't accidentally lose progress on a saved run. They add the visible in-game timer, which is great for speedrunning. You do have the option to turn that off in the settings. Tutorials can be disabled entirely, which means you won't have to worry about those popping up ever. And they also fixed a couple of the events that would spawn the roaches, even at higher floors. So now for sure you will never encounter roach. You'll never have to deal with the accurate kills on higher endless floors. Let's talk about some of the balancing changes. First off, the starting deck is now reduced to 7. This is actually crazy for speedrunning, and it'll really have an effect on the new world record time. Your first 4 rewards were always to discard down the amount of dice in your hand. This new change means you really only have to discard once or twice to get a speedrun size deck. This also means that the terrain path will become a lot more viable because you can add a new die without having to discard so much to get there. Another balance thing is they changed the melting knife and frozen knife relics. These are both notable. The melting knife was always a top tier speedrunning relic, and the frozen knife was notably bugged previously and had a very low following afterwards. So the new effects is melting knife now gives a +1 to attack dice and a -1 to block dice. Frozen knife gives a +1 to block dice and a -1 to attack dice. So this brings it much more in line with the Crimson Blade in terms of the effects, but creates a very, very hard nerf in terms of fitting in with the speedrun meta. We'll have to reevaluate what our top relics are after this update. Another couple balancing changes are there will now be a guaranteed grant property reward at certain floors. This is going to be very strong for adding holo or adding flash, as you're guaranteed to be able to add a property to one of your dice in each run. There are also a lot of changes that they've mentioned to mob generation. We'll have to play a little more to really see how that changes the difficulty of the game. Finally, there is a special reward for floor 1 if the player reaches significant progress on the previous run. Now there's a bunch of fixes that were reported both on Steam and in the Discord. I'd encourage everyone to join the Discord community. It's a great community, and there is a dedicated bugs reporting channel, which is the best way to report a bug for the developers to see it and get it fixed in the game. There are fixes for the Fang Relic, fixes for Nightmare Plasma, Bucket of Pain. There was a couple of exploits for infinite energy around Bucket of Pain that are now fixed. A Chocolate Muffin had certain issues. Blindfold of Rage, Origami Frog, and Moon Chakram also had some glitches and bugs that are now fixed. The new content also introduced quite a few bugs that were fixed in very quick subsequent hotfixes. There is a performance hit that's mostly been resolved. There were some further interactions with Poisonous Skin that are now resolved. Terrain dice had a bug in it as well, and the achievements were also broken again for a bit. The dev team has been very active. We know that there are still updates coming on the roadmap. They've mentioned console support, other font supports and changes, localization fixes, And of course, I don't think they're done balancing the game yet as well. So I'd recommend, again, join the Discord server, take a look at the sneak peeks, check out the community, and I will see you in the next video.